Alright, so let me get the exact date right. I gave birth to Mahlani and Mahliyah April 21st, 2016. So that was a Thursday. So if I go back Wednesday, that's April 20th. Tuesday, 19th. Monday, 18th. So basically, April 18th, me and my mom had ordered some Chinese food, and she had, it's up the street from us, like basically like on a corner, as y'all can see in my previous video, like it's a CVS up the street. Um, she had walked up the street to get us some Arizona, the drink, and I was sitting waiting for the Chinese food because we ordered Chinese food. So I'm sitting on the porch and I'm all big, sitting on the porch, and it was hot. Obviously, it's like summertime or whatever. And I'm waiting for the Chinese food, and it's really hot, and it's hot on my belly. So basically, like, I'm in pain. I'm just thinking maybe it's just the sun. The babies are not liking the sun. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so once my mom walked back or whatever, I'm like, mom, like, oh, the Chinese food came. So right when the Chinese food came, she was walking back. Like, she was at the corner, like, I could see her. She's coming back to the house. So I'm like, like, I'm in a little pain, and this is not okay. Like, I'm not feeling good. So every day, my mom said, the babies are coming today. Like, literally, she was so excited. Every day, she's like, they're coming today. They're coming today. They're coming today. Every day, she said they were coming if they did not come. At this moment, mama is like really freaking out right now. She's like, like my grandbabies are coming, and she calls the ambulance. I had went to the ambulance when I was 6 months because I had like a really sharp pain on the right side of my stomach, and this is like before I even knew it was it before I knew it was twins? No, I did know it was twins. So that's why, like, they was like, she could be going into labor because sometimes twins come early, yada, yada, yada. But that's not the point. Okay, so she called the ambulance. The ambulance came, but they had been here already. So they're like, oh, we've been here in this house, and you the girl who having the twins, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So I get taken to the hospital, and I'm not going to say the name of the hospital, but the wackest hospital I've ever been in. So I get taken to the hospital, and they had me there. Basically, what they explained to me is they weren't going to give me food, they weren't going to give me water, because I was going to get my C-section that day. So I'm thirsty, I'm starving, because they're telling me that I'm going to get my C-section this day. Okay, so to think about a C-section, I knew I was going to probably end up most likely having one because it's twins. So I kind of, got that in my head. And on top of that, my babies were like the yin yang sign. Like, one was head down and one was butt down. So I kind of already figured that. My mom had a C-section with me and my brother, so I really focused only on getting a C-section because she had told me so much about them that I was already ready for one. I'm like, I want to get a C-section because I know what they're about, I know what I need to do, and this is the best option. Plus, who wants to push out two babies? Like, who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. Not even. Okay, so they told me I was going to get a C-section that day, and they didn't call my specific doctor. So I'm talking to a whole different doctor, and all of this. So they did the check-in me for centimeters and all that stuff. And that Monday, they had told me I was 1, 2, 3. First, they told me I was 1 centimeter. Then they told me I was 2. Then they told me I was 3. Then they told me I was back to 1. And then they told me that my contractions were 1 to 3 minutes apart. So they was like, how aren't you not feeling this? And your contractions are so strong. Because I wasn't feeling anything. Like, I was perfectly fine. I was just sitting there chilling. The only thing that hurt it is because I had so much fluid on my body that, like, okay, well, some people might not know, but they put monitors on your belly. They got, well, for me, I had 3. I had 1 monitor for 1 baby heartbeat, 1 monitor for the other baby heartbeat, and 1 monitor for the contraction. So I had 3 on me, and they put them so tight because I had so much fluid on my body that it left marks in my body because they're circles. Well, they're bigger than that. They're probably this big. But, so they left marks on my body because they had to put them so tight because I had so much fluid, basically. So, they did all of that, and turns out I couldn't get a C-section because I wasn't specifically 39 weeks, even though I was going to be 39 weeks that Friday. But they're like, we can't give you a C-section because you're too early. You're not 39 weeks, and we're gonna send you home because everything checks out. So now me and my mom mad. We're going off like, yo, I've been here all day, literally, and y'all done starved me all day, literally. No food, no water, no nothing. And then y'all have the nerve to come and keep everybody, like, first of all, it was more than one nurse coming in telling me something. Like, one nurse would come in and tell me something, another nurse would come in and tell me something, and it was not the same thing that the last nurse said. So I kept saying, like, who is telling me the truth? Like, whose story should I believe? Like, and then a doctor would come in and tell me stuff. So I had no idea about what was going on with that day. Like, I was so frustrated. Once it was time for me to go, me and my mom, we went off on everybody because my brother had got off work early because he's like, he's gonna see his nieces and all of this stuff. So it was so crazy. Okay, so basically, they had told me that when I turned 39 weeks, I could schedule my C-section because one was butt and one was head. One was butt down and one was head down. So I was gonna be able to schedule my C-section Friday, April 22nd, because that's when I would have been 39 weeks. So I come home and I'm just waiting, all these days. Tuesday go by, Wednesday go by, and then Thursday. Okay, so I woke up Thursday morning. Everything was like really normal, nothing out of the ordinary. And I'm waiting for my doctor to call me. So Wednesday I did call my doctor and I talked to him and I'm like, okay, so when can I set up my C-section? And he's like, I'll call you back. So he never called me back. So that Thursday I woke up like, okay, today is the day I need to call and make sure I talk to somebody with setting my C-section so I can do this tomorrow. I'm ready to have my daughters here with me, and that's it. That's all. I'm not trying to hear nothing else. Y'all told me 39 weeks, so we going 39 weeks. Okay, so funny story. I took a nap. I woke up and I was really tired, and that's just, you lose a lot of energy or whatever. So I woke up and I ended up telling my mom, I'm like, I'm going to call him once I get up from my nap. So my mom come in my room and she like, here, call your doctor, call your doctor because, she's like, here, call your doctor because nobody has called you and you need to get this ultrasound set up, da-da-da-da. Now she getting frustrated because nobody has called, and it's Thursday, and they were supposed to call between Monday. They supposed to call Tuesday, you know what I mean? So, I'm like, I tell her, okay, I'm going to call, just let me go to the bathroom first. I got to use the bathroom. So, I had a bucket in my room because my room is upstairs and the bathroom is downstairs. Most of the time when my brother is here, I'm telling y'all, my brother uses the bathroom all day. It takes this nigga so long to get in the bathroom and get out. It makes no sense. So I got sick of like a little dripping peeing on myself that I put a bucket in my room. My mom bought me a bucket. Like if I have to pee and somebody in the bathroom, I could be able to just use the bathroom, instead of like keep peeing on myself or whatever. So the bucket was in my room, and I woke up too late, so I know I was not going to make it to the bathroom. So I went to pee in a bucket, or at least what I thought was peeing in a bucket. Little did I know my water had broke while I was over the bucket. So what happened was, I'm leaning over the bucket, and I feel like I'm peeing, and then all of a sudden I feel whoosh, and then I'm just like, okay, well, that was kind of like a weird type of pee. So I'm trying to, like, I get up, jingle myself, and I'm finna get ready to go downstairs to wipe myself, and I just keep peeing. So I lean back, I sit back, on a bucket, and it still drips out. And I'm like, okay, I'm finished because it stops. So I get back up, then it still pee. So I bend back down. So this kept going on for about 30 seconds. Then my mom was on the phone, and my mom had took her hair down the day before. So my mom on the phone, and I say, Mom, come here. And she's like, whoever she on the phone with, she's like, hold on, my daughter calling me. And I'm like, Mom, I cannot stop peeing. I cannot stop peeing. Seriously, I'm not joking with you. I just keep peeing. So she's like, oh my God, I'll call you back. Oh my God. And then she's like, let me look in the bucket, like to see, what's in the bucket. Because she's like, your water might have broke. So she looks in the bucket, and it's like this little stuff. I don't know. It's weird to explain what it looks like. But it basically kind of look like, okay, if you eat oranges, well, I eat oranges this way. Like, I'll peel the orange, and then I'll take the peeling off the orange. okay, peel the orange. So the orange is edible right now. So I will peel the white stuff off the orange and just eat the orange juicy part. So all of that little white stringy stuff that comes with the orange, that's what it looked like in a bucket. So that's the best way I know how to explain it. So she's like, oh my God, yo, water in, bro. Let me call ambulance. And then she's like, oh my God, my hair. So she got to throw on the scarf and she got to do all that, call it ambulance. And then the ambulance people, first of all, I've never had a baby before. So they telling me how far my contractions and all of this. Honey, I don't know. First of all, I'm not feeling anything. I'm perfectly fine. So I can't tell you where my contractions are if I don't know if I'm having any. So they like, okay, yeah, whatever. You know, they was rude to the ambulance people. On the right there, I swear to God, this nigga hit every bump he could. And laying down in the ambulance, first of all, laying down pregnant on your back, period, is very painful. But when you have two babies in you, it's really painful. So riding in an ambulance on my back, and I keep peeing, quote unquote, you know, my water breaking, and you hitting every bump. This isn't, you know, making it any better for me. So basically, get to the hospital. They tell me like, yeah, your water broke, da 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 da. Give me a hospital dress, do all this extra stuff, and they like, you know, you are gonna have your babies today. So basically, I just really sat in there all day. It was just me and my mom. I sat there all day. I got there about 12:45, 12:47 around that time. And I literally had my daughters at 7:30 and 7:31. So that tells you how long it took for them to get me, you know. Alright, so basically the only thing that really set me off, like I was perfectly fine my whole time being in the hospital. Like I didn't feel not one contraction, nothing. The only thing that really set me off is when they have to check you for your centimeters and all of that. Every time they did that, I cried. And I remember one lady was like, she went to check it, and I immediately just closed up. She's like, I don't know how dude got in here because you just keep closing up on me. I remember everything because it's just so. But that was like one of the things I remember because I'm just like, bruh, like who says that? But anyway, so we're gonna fast forward. They did, you know, they checked they did an ultrasound on me again to make sure that Mahlani was still butt first. So she was. So they're like, okay, we're gonna go ahead with your C-section. This is where the scary part came. I was fine all until they got, you know, to come and get me and wheel me down for the C-section. Then it's like that's when my heart really started to just like, oh my God, I'm really finna have my babies here. Like this is no going back. That's all I kept thinking in my head. Like it's no going back. It's no going back. It's no going back. You know, like a roller coaster ride. You can say you can get all the way up to the line. And you can be like, you know what? I don't want to do it. Like anything. You can go meet up with some friends and be like, you know what? I don't want to go. You can be like, oh, I'm gonna go jump off a cliff, and you can be like, no, I don't want to go. But literally, it was like no going back. Okay, so this was the only part that I really struggled with. Basically, since I had so much fluid on my body, they had to stick me with needles so many times to find the right spot. So I got stuck like 9 times in order for them to get the right spot because so much fluid on my body. I remember just screaming because I hate needles. And even with the IV, I had the IV in my arm right here because it couldn't be in my wrist. Too much fluid. I was too swollen and all of that. So like everything with needle wise, it was horrible because I hate needles. And since I was so swollen, they had to stick me over so many times. I've never been stuck with a needle so many times in my life, except for this, like, you know, giving birth or whatever. So I remember screaming, you know, them giving me the needles, and they kept saying, you know, like, where do you feel the pain? And I'll be like, on the left side or the right side, left side or the right side, or, you know, like, and then I remember my left leg going numb, and they give you this little flimsy pillow to hold on to. So I threw the pillow on the ground, like, I don't want to hold on to this, and they're like, you have to hold on to this, and what am I holding on to? Like, this is like a little doggy pillow. Like, why are you guys giving me this? This isn't helping me with anything or whatever. Okay, so after they gave me the shot, I remember my left leg going numb, which meant they hit the right spot. And they laying me down. I remember them strapping me up like a crazy person, and I was just like, I kept screaming like, "Where's my mom? Where's my mom? Do not start without my mom. Do not start without my mom." And they're like, "Your mom is in the other room. She can hear you, and we're not gonna start without her." And I'm just like, y'all strapping me up, y'all doing all of this, but with my mom at, that's all I'm wondering. Just because my mom was like my backbone there, like she was literally there with me like the whole time, like the whole 3 days I was there, my mom rode with me. That's what mine's are for. But okay, so um, I remember they put the little oxygen thingy in the nose, and I kept trying to wiggle my nose, and I got it off. And he's like, "Can you put it back on?" He's like, "No, you need this on." And I'm like, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm dying. I'm dying. I can't breathe." And I remember he was like an African, and I remember him saying like, if you can say you can't breathe, then you can breathe. Like, if you can say you're dying, then you're not dying. So he's like, you need this oxygen. I'm like, I need a break. Even when he was giving me the shots in my back, I'm like, I need a break. I need a break. Stop. I need a break. And then like with the oxygen, I'm like, just take it out for 2 seconds, please. I just need a break. I need to breathe my own air. Like, this is killing me. So he put it on. I ended up throwing up a couple times. And since you laying back, I'm like, first of all, since you laying back, and then your body is numb. If you notice when you throw up, you able to move your whole body like this. When your body numb, you just still. Even if you think you moving your body not moving. So it's an illusion of you thinking you moving your body. So at this point, I really feel like I'm finna choke on my own throw up because they didn't already strap me down. My body already numb, and I feel like I'm finna throw up, and I'm laying back. So he like, turn your head. So I turn my head this way and let all the throw up come out, and all of that, whatever. So they bring my mom in, and they start, and I remember them telling me, you might feel a little bit of tugging and pulling and pressure. And I literally remember hearing Mahlani's voice, hearing her cry for the first time, and I always get so emotional with this because it was literally the best feeling ever to be like, this is my baby. Like, to literally hear her cry. And I remember crying, and I heard her voice. I heard her little cry, and I remember saying, "Mom, I hear her." And my mom's like, "I don't hear anything." I remember her crying a little louder, and they showed me her, and I was so happy, and I just started crying like, this is my baby. And then I remember hearing Mahliyah's voice crying, and they showed me her, and they're like, "Oh, this twin is a little darker than that one." And fast just fast forward, because I'm getting too emotional. Just fast forward, and they put you in a recovery room for an hour. They make sure your body is all good, and they give you like these pumps on your leg. And I remember my brother coming right after that, and him and my mom went to the nursery to look at the babies first. I remember after that hour, because I was so thirsty. The only thing I wanted some water, something to drink, because my mouth was so thirsty. But I remember getting wheeled out, and she was like, "You want to see your babies?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I literally remember her coming out with Mahliyah, and me really seeing Mahliyah for the first time, and I held her, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs. And as soon as I grabbed her and I said, "Oh baby, don't cry," and I put her on my chest, she immediately stopped crying. And every time I think of that, I just want to cry because it made me feel like she knew that I was her mom. Like, she knew me. Like, she knew who her mom was. So I get emotional when I think about that because these are my little girls. Like, these are my babies. And I remember when she took her off my chest, she started crying again. She went me up to the room, they cleaned me and all of that other stuff, and they brought Mahlani in. I remember holding Mahlani for the first time, and I remember seeing like, gosh, she's white. She's so white. My baby is so white, and she looks just like me when I was a baby. Like, so white, pale, and look just like me when I was a baby. Like, it was amazing, you guys. Like, I'm telling you, it was all the pain that you go through is so worth it when you look in your baby's eyes and you hold them, and it's just amazing. Like, it's amazing. I'm telling you guys, it's amazing. I remember after that, they took so long to bring Mahliyah in. I remember them bringing Mahliyah in and me holding both of them for the first time. And it's like reality hit me. Like, both of these are my babies. Like, both of these little, beautiful little baby girls are mine. They belong to me. Um, my brother was there. My mom was there, obviously. My brother spent the night, the first night, but he did have to leave in the morning because he had to go to work. My mom did stay with me the whole 3 days. My eyes getting irritated because I was my mom did stay with me the whole 3 days. Let me tell y'all, the nurses were horrible. I give them an F for failure, not even for trying. They were horrible. I seen a doctor. He didn't even ask me, like, the doctor who did my C-section, he didn't even come in and ask me, like, how I'm feeling. Nothing. I had a couple doctors couple nurses that did, treat me really good, did really do their job. But then, the black nurses. Why is it always the black nurses? The Africans. Like, the Africans, I don't know, because they think they're so, not think, because, like, some African men think, or not, why do I keep saying thing? Some African men like to be dominant. Like, they like to be, okay, so that might be, how the African women are. I'm not for sure, you know what I mean? But anyway, but like, they were trying to force me to breastfeed. I did breastfeed for a day and a half. But Mahliyah was not latching on. So the day and a half, I felt like my baby was not eating because she was not latching on. Now, Mahlani, she was going in. But Mahliyah, she wasn't latching on. So I felt like my baby wasn't latching on. So give me bottles so I can make sure my baby eating. And they was like trying to persuade me not to do it. Like, no, don't do it. Don't bottle feed. And like, at this point, like, let me tell y'all, once the numbness wore off, I was up and walking. I was up and walking. Like, I was walking slowly, but I was doing it because, my mom told me, like, if you don't walk, if you don't walk, you get stiff. So I made sure that I was up and walking, and I did what I had to do to not get stiff. I took medicine, like, every time, if they say 4 hours, after 4 hours, I'm calling y'all so y'all can give me more medicine so I won't be in so much pain. But right after my body numbed off, they didn't give me medicine, like, right away, so I was kind of sore. And plus, when you breastfeed, it feel like you're doing crunches. So that did hurt. Trying to breastfeed and try to heal myself. So I was like, you know what, I'm over it. Give me a pump. Can I have a pump? And one of the doctors was like, there's nothing wrong with you with a baby, so we're not going to give you a pump. Just put it on your boob. And she went and grabbed my boob and all that. And I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. She's like, no, you are going to breastfeed. I'm like, no, I'm not. And like, they was like really horrible. Like, my mom was there the whole time. First of all, I was there the whole time and nobody ever gave me a eating menu. So I was just eating. No, I was not eating it, but they were just bringing me whatever they wanted to bring me. Nobody ever asked, did my mom want water? Would she like something to eat? Like, nothing. And because this is my first time, I don't know how stuff like this goes. I'm new to this. They never showed me how to change a diaper, put on clothes, feed them, or nothing. They were so worried about me trying to breastfeed that they weren't focusing on like the real stuff to do. Even though I knew how to do all that stuff, they didn't tell me anything. Like, I didn't know that like when babies first come, their poop is black. Like, basically that. I did not know that. Nobody ever told me that. Except for like one doctor, one nurse at the end. She ended up telling me that. She gave me like a book It was like day by day, you know, how many diapers they might go through, bottles, etc., etc. So some of them was nice, but majority of them got cussed out, got treated. I was going in because look, these are my kids, this is my baby, this is my life. Let me do this. And then like I remember the African nurse, like she kept coming in like, did you feed your baby? Like, why wouldn't I feed my babies? Why would I do that? And why would my mom not feed them? Like, it's both of us in here. Like, do you think we're stupid? Like, I did. Yeah, so half of my video did get deleted. Basically the end of the video, basically I was just stating like where I left off, that the nurse really didn't tell me anything about changing the diaper, and she really wanted me to breastfeed, even though I said I did not. I look so crazy with no makeup on, yo. But basically that's what happened. Like I said, I stayed in the hospital for 3 days. After the 3 days, I was able to leave. And if they were gonna try to hold me, I'm telling y'all, I was gonna sign myself out, because ain't no way I was gonna send my brand new babies home and then still be sitting in the hospital. But it was nothing wrong with me. I was able to go home. See, excuse my nail. Yeah. See, some of the things that they want you to do before you go home, they want to make sure you poop, you fart, and like you just using the bathroom regularly. So I did not poop, but I did, you know, like fart and all of that stuff. So I did tell them that I pooped, so I was able to go home. I was able to go home, and like just from experience, you guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something. When y'all is getting ready to go into labor and y'all dealing with nurses and doctors and all of that stuff, y'all make sure y'all do what's best for y'all. But because it was my first time, I had no idea of what to do and expectations, and I really didn't ask people who already had kids like questions about stuff like that. But I never thought that nurses would be so rude like they were to me. Maybe because I'm a young African American girl. Like, you know, sometimes people do expect black girls to be all rude and disrespectful. And I'm talking like seriously loud over this TV. It's because they expect for girls like my age to be just really disrespectful and all of that stuff. But I really wasn't even on that. Like, I'm a really respectful person until you get disrespectful with me. So basically, once I felt like they was giving me disrespect, they was getting it. Like, in order for you to receive it, you gotta give it. So you wasn't giving it, so you wasn't receiving it. You feel me? So that's just what it was. Like, but at the end of the day, I got to get my beautiful daughters. They was very healthy. Like, nothing was wrong with them. They were absolutely perfect. I was perfect. I was able to go home. And then, like, one of the things, okay, if you get a C-section, they're gonna give you either staples or invisible stitches, and I got invisible stitches. I did not know what my cut looked like. Nobody ever came in the room to tell me about my cut. Like, nobody ever came in the room to tell me, like, yo, get in a shower and take your bandage off. Nobody ever told me anything like that until, like, a cleaning lady came, and she's like, well, did anybody come and take you in the shower? And I'm like, no. And I guess she wanted to tell one of the nurses, like, what's going on with me or whatever. And then they came in and they give you this little patch thing. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you get a C-section and you get this little cotton thing that's like this to fit across your cut. And they're like, well, did you take the padding off? And I'm like, what padding? Not knowing that I had padding right there. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know I had invisible stitches until they had to look at my records and see what I got. So nobody ever told me to take that off. They didn't even come to check my stitches to make sure if they was good or not to the morning of me leaving. Like, this hospital was definitely not on their job. And I just really wish I had my babies in the town that I lived in before, because they hospitals there was amazing. But these ones out here, please. But seriously, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of my labor / delivery story. I wish I could tell you guys everything, but I definitely do not remember what I said in the last video, and I hate to be repeating myself, but I guess you guys can get the idea. If you have any more questions of something that I did not answer, or just questions in general, put them in the description box. Not the description box, you can't comment in the description box. Put them in the comment section below, and I will be sure to answer your questions in another video or in the comment section. But thank you guys for watching my video. If you're new to my channel, I hope you like. I hope my videos are interesting enough for you to subscribe and click the little bell so you get notifications. And if you are already subscribed, welcome back, and thank you for tuning in. And see you guys in my next video, because my baby is doing the most right now, and I'm trying to talk over the TV so they can watch TV, and it is not working. See you guys in my next video.